What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Laughing Through Life with Donald, the show where we take the chaos of adulthood, put it under a microscope, and then laugh at it because that's the only affordable therapy left. Today's episode is titled Relationships Are Easy When You're Older, which is funny because whoever said that is probably single, lying, or living with a partner who lost their sense of hearing 15 years ago. Growing up, adults always made it seem like relationships become simple once you're older. Just find someone who matches your values, they said. Meanwhile, I'm over here in 2025 arguing about a thermostat like it's a hostage negotiation. Let's get into it. When we were kids, a relationship took two things. One, matching crayons. Two, not telling the teacher you ate glue. You remember that? How simple it was back then? You liked someone if they had the shiny crayons, not the ones that were already broken or the ones that melted in the sun because somebody left their Crayola box on the school bus all day. No, no. I'm talking about the 64 pack, the one with the flip up sharpener in the corner that made you feel like you had a personal toolkit for creating art. That was peak romance. You see that kid with the full pristine box of crayons and your heart would skip a beat. They had the reds, the purples, the golden yellows, the full spectrum, ready to go. It wasn't about the kid's looks, their personality, or anything deep. It was about a little box of color. If you had that, you were basically royalty. But now you can have matching 720s credit scores, matching trauma, matching Amazon Prime accounts, and you're still arguing about the same three things every week: temperature, timing, tone. Think about it. As kids, it didn't matter if you didn't have a matching credit score, or if your trauma didn't line up. Hell, you didn't even know what trauma was. You just wanted to know if they had the red crayon in that little box and if you could share it without getting your finger pricked by the sharpener. If you had a problem with someone, you could work it out in 10 minutes on the playground, trade crayons, and move on. Simple, clean, done. Fast forward to adulthood, and those matching crayons are a distant memory. Now you're looking for someone whose credit score is as good as yours or better because you know financial stability is sexy. You've got to line up on all those big life things. You got to be on the same page about who's paying for what, who's doing the heavy lifting emotionally, and how you're splitting the bills for the Netflix account you both pretend to cancel every month, but secretly keep going. You're not just matching crayons anymore. You're matching debt, you're matching past heartbreak, and you're matching who can cook dinner faster after a long day at work. But no matter how much you think you've aligned, there's always the same three things you're fighting about: temperature, you can't agree on the thermostat setting. Why do you always have to have it so cold in here? Or can we turn it up? I'm freezing. It's the battle of the seasons, right? But it's not the temperature in the room. It's about how we're feeling. One person trying to control the environment to feel comfortable, while the other person is adjusting to create their own sense of peace. It's never just the temperature. Timing. Oh, don't even get me started on timing. We've all been there, trying to find the perfect moment to have that conversation to talk about something that's been bugging you. You're waiting for the right time, but guess what? The perfect time never comes. There's always something. Either you're too tired, too busy, or it's too late. And then you wait until tomorrow, and the cycle repeats. What you're really waiting for is the perfect alignment of the universe. So you don't argue, so you don't hurt feelings. But in reality, we're just making excuses to delay the inevitable. Then there's tone. Tone is a tricky one, right? A sentence can be taken 100 different ways. Depending on how it's said, you can take out the trash, might sound like a harmless request, but if it's said in a certain tone, it could sound like criticism, nagging, or frustration. And suddenly you're in a full blown argument over who's doing the house chores, when really it was about how the words came out. Tones got so much power over how we communicate, and somehow we never seem to get it just right. One wrong word, one sharp edge in the voice, and boom, we're off to the races. And that's before we even start on the subtext, the hidden meanings we think we hear that probably aren't even there. It's funny, when we were kids, relationships were simple. All it took was some crayons, a little shared time, and boom, you were dating. Now, as adults, we got to navigate all this other stuff. We've got matching depth, matching emotional baggage, and matching all the wrong kinds of matching. And yet, somehow, we still can't get through the week without arguing over the same things: the heat, the clock, and the way we speak to each other. So, what happened? Why did it get so complicated? It's like the more we grow up, the more we add layers to our expectations. But underneath all that, we're still those kids arguing over the perfect crayon. Only now we swapped out the shiny box for a whole lot of emotional and practical baggage. All this adult stuff we think matters: credit, trauma, Amazon Prime, none of it keeps us from fighting over the same three things every week. But hey, At least we got a good reason to argue. It's just about figuring out how to fix it, or at least agree on the temperature of the room. So once you realize it's not about winning the argument, it's about understanding what you're actually fighting about. And that's when you start to notice the real battles, the ones happening quietly, daily, invisibly. And speaking of invisible battles, let's talk about the thermostat. People think relationships end because of cheating, or money, or lack of communication. No, absolutely not. Relationships end because one person wants the house to feel like Miami in July, windows fog, shirts sticking to your back, they're just doing push ups outside, and the other person wants the house to feel like the Game of Thrones, Winterfell Season 8. I'm talking about breath turns to ice, jackets indoors, dragons refusing to come out because it's too cold. You ever try to sleep next to somebody who lives at a completely different internal temperature than you? That is real danger. My partner sleeps under 12 blankets. 12. That's not sleeping. That's preparing for cryo freeze. She tucks herself in like she's going into a time capsule to wake up in the year 3028. Meanwhile, I'm on top of the sheet, fully exposed, rotating like a rotisserie chicken at Costco, except I'm not even spinning. I'm just sizzling in place. I'm sweating, dehydrated, questioning my life choices. I got one toe touching the sheet, trying to cool off like it's charging a cable. We are not built for the same climate. That's the thing. Every relationship has that one person who's a silent thermostat assassin, someone who sneaks out of the bed at night, tiptoe walking, trying not to wake the other person. They approach the thermostat like Indiana Jones, swapping out the golden statue. They're breathing soft, moving slow, pressing the button like it's a nuclear launch code. And then you, the victim, wake up at 3 a.m. You sweating like you were fighting for your life in a sauna. Like you just had a nightmare about being trapped inside a hot yoga class. You wake up and shout into the void. We changed the thermostat to 78. Show yourself. This is a crime scene. And here's the crazy part. The person who did it never confesses. They come out of the shadows acting confused, acting like the thermostat changed itself, like the house has ghosts who enjoy tropical weather. Oh, I don't know, baby. Maybe the AC is broken. Yes, it's broken because you broke it at 2 in the morning. But the pettiest part, the justification. The excuse is always insane. I turned it up because, well, my ankles were cold. Your ankles? We're sacrificing the whole household ecosystem for ankles? You want me to boil alive because your little ankle bones felt a breeze? Your ankles got so chilly, now the whole living room feels like a greenhouse? That's the reason? And they always say it like it's medically urgent. Like you don't understand if my ankles get cold, my whole spirit shuts down. Meanwhile, when I adjust the thermostat by one single degree, one, she acts like I just sabotaged the whole relationship. She pops up like, did you just touch to the thermostat without telling me, without scheduling a meeting, without drafting a proposal? Touching the thermostat becomes a political situation. There's a whole negotiation. There are committees. There's a debate. Someone filibusters over the airflow. And this right here is why adults lie and say relationships get easier because none of them want to admit they are locked in a daily civil war over a white plastic box on the wall. They're out here smiling in public, posting cute pictures, acting peaceful. Meanwhile, at home, they're in the living room doing hostage negotiations over degrees Fahrenheit. You think couples break up over cheating? No. They break up because one person whispered, it feels drafty, and the other person took it personally. The thermostat is the real test of love. You can survive anything, trauma, bills, long distance, but you try surviving two people with conflicting internal thermostats, that's where legends are made. Because once you've battled over air temperature like it's a matter of national security, you unlock the next level of relationship chaos. Welcome to the miscommunication Olympics. At this point, I swear every conversation in adulthood is one misinterpreted sentence away from emotional demolition. Like you could be having a calm, peaceful, loving day, and then you say one thing with the wrong breath pattern, and suddenly you're in season 7 of a show you didn't audition for. Like your partner says, are you going to the store? You say, yeah, probably. They hear, I am embarking on a heroic quest, a pilgrimage to gather everything you've ever wanted, solve all generational trauma, achieve inner peace, and remember that brand of almond milk you mentioned one time in 2018. So you go to the store like normal. You get bread, water, maybe a snack, normal civilian human behavior. And then you come back home and suddenly you're in court. So you didn't get the avocados? I didn't know we needed them. We always need them. Since when? Since forever. I wasn't alive for forever. Well, you should have known. How? Mind reading. It's in the relationship. There's a manual for this relationship. Oh, there's always been a manual. Where do I get the manual? You should have been born with it. And let's talk about this always and never language. No partner has ever said those words reasonably. It's always dramatic. You never listen. You always say that. You never get the right thing at the store. I've been to the store 3 times. I'm batting .666. That's a good average. That's baseball numbers. I'm telling you, they should give out medals in relationships. Gold medal for jumping to conclusions from the other side of the house. Silver medal for holding on to something from 2019, even though both of you went through 3 personality changes since then. Bronze medal for communicating exclusively through passive aggressive cabinet slams, and maybe a special award for best dramatic performance during an argument about nothing. And don't even get me started on text messages. Texting your partner, is like playing emotional minesweeper. One wrong emoji, and boom, you're sleeping on the couch with the dog. And the dog doesn't even like you. You ever send a long paragraph, like a thoughtful, soul bearing text, and they respond with, okay? Not even okay, not K, just okay. 2 letters, the emotional equivalent of being stabbed with a room temperature 4. When that okay hits your screen, your chest gets tight. You start sweating. You start replaying every decision you made since the 3rd grade. You reread your own paragraph like, did I accidentally threaten her family? Did I type something demonic without noticing? Did autocorrect ruin my life again? And then they get mad because you're reading into it like, why are you overreacting? Ma'am, you said okay. That's not a message. That's a vibe. That's a warning shot. That's a horoscope. What we need is tone indicators, a whole closed captioning system for emotions. Imagine reading a text and underneath it says, she says okay, but she means okay. But also, she's annoyed because you left your socks on the floor again. And also, she's still mad about something you did in Target last month. Or he said, sure, whatever. But what he meant was he's hungry, tired, emotionally dehydrated, and didn't hear the last 30 seconds of what you said. We need subtitles, relationship subtitles. Something like argument volume increases not because he's angry, but because he was raised in a loud family. She's not actually mad, she's just cold. He said he didn't care about dinner, but he actually does. He's just scared to say the wrong food. Because without subtitles, without tone indicators, every message becomes a psychological puzzle. Nobody knows what anybody means. You're decoding emojis like they're ancient runes. My partner sent me 3 dots 1 time. That's not punctuation, that's a threat. That's a spiritual attack. That's Morse code for you better fix this. I'm telling you, relationships are just 2 people trying to translate each other like Google Translate for feelings. And after you spent hours decoding each other's emotional hieroglyphics, you finally take a breath, look around, and realize there's a whole new threat lurking in the shadows. One click away, waiting, watching. It's Amazon. Now, this one right here is destroying households nationwide. No relationship can survive Amazon because somehow someone in the house always has a package every single day. And it's never a normal package either. It's never like, oh, here's the toothpaste we needed. No, it's always something suspicious, something vibey, something that makes you squint your eyes at your partner like, what era of your personality are you entering right now? I don't care if it's a holiday, a random Wednesday, or 4 in the morning. Amazon is there delivering like Santa on Red Bull. I swear there are Amazon drivers who know my dog's birthday at this point. They're fist bumping my porch. They've memorized my welcome mat. They walk up like, hey man, you want me to stack those inside for you? I know how y'all like them arranged. It's like Amazon is running a 24/7 cheat code, a never ending side quest, a portal to chaos. One time I checked my partner's order history. One time. That's all it took. I aged 6 years. I had to hydrate afterward. I saw a banana slicer, a shoe rack, a light bulb shaped like a chicken, a book titled Stop Buying Things, and a waterproof notebook for shower thoughts. Like, what thoughts are you having? You can't wait until you dry off. And the worst part, the same line every time, but it was on sale. Here we go. The rallying cry, the maiden call of all Amazon shoppers. But it was on sale, but it was 20% off, but it said limited stock. Yeah, limited stock because no one else wants a chicken light bulb. I'm convinced Amazon operates on psychology warfare. They send you notifications like, people like you bought this. Do you like to be like people like you? People like you make questionable decisions. And confronting someone about their Amazon habit, don't do it. Don't do it unless you want to enter a whole nother realm. It doesn't become a calm discussion. No, it becomes a full courtroom drama. You walk in like, hey, babe, what are all these boxes? Boom. The lights dim. The thing from Law and Order starts playing. We are gathered here today to examine why 7 boxes of things nobody asked for have arrived since last Tuesday. Partner stepping up like a lawyer. Your Honor, if it pleases the court, Exhibit A. I saved $40 by spending 120. That's math from another universe. That's math from the upside down. That is intergalactic math. That is Marvel Cinematic Universe quantum realm math. And they never break eye contact when they say it. They believe it. It was a deal. It was a deal. You bought a back scratcher shaped like a wizard staff. What deal were you fighting for? And the boxes. You ever look around your living room and realize Amazon boxes have unionized? There's so many of them, they formed a small city, a cardboard metropolis. They're stacked so high you gotta part the packages like Moses parting the Red Sea just to get to the refrigerator. You ask, what's in all these boxes? I don't remember. You don't remember? How are you making purchases so fast your memory can't download the data? And Amazon doesn't help. They enable. They send updates like, your package has shipped. Your package is arriving. Your package is 10 stops away. Your package is 2 stops away. Your package is approaching your home at 32 miles per hour. Your package just winked at us. Your package is now emotionally attached to you. Your package whispered, Father. You know it's bad when your dog hears the Amazon track and starts wagging its tail, like, oh, look, mommy's dealer is here. And don't get me started on subscribe and save. Oh, that is a trap. That is Amazon saying, hey, what if we brought you stuff you forgot you bought every month forever? You'd be opening a package like, who ordered 48 rolls of toilet paper? You did in July. Why would I do that? Because it was on sale. And then you start second guessing your sanity. You're like, did I order this? Did someone else order this? Did Amazon just decide I needed this? At some point, the Amazon algorithm knows you better than your partner. You're thinking about maybe buying new socks. Boom, Amazon sends you 12 sock suggestions. You accidentally clicked on a blender once. Boom, Amazon's like, have you considered smoothies? Have you considered reinventing your life? Amazon isn't a company anymore. Amazon is a personality trait. Amazon is a roommate. Amazon is the third person in the relationship. And honestly, they're winning. Like, he's tired just thinking about it. But all right, quick breather. Because relationships get wild, but somehow we keep signing up for it, humans love a challenge. We, the only species who argue about a thermostat and still cuddle after. Dogs don't do that. They fight once and forget. Humans, we remember everything forever. Now, let's get into the part of adult relationships that movies never warned us about, balancing romance with responsibilities. Movie love is easy. They go on beach walks, kiss in the rain, have candlelit dinners, and somehow nobody ever has a job. Nobody has a shift at 8 a.m. Nobody has emails. Nobody has a toddler screaming because a sock felt wrong. Movie characters got unlimited PTO, zero anxiety. But real adult romance, real romance? Hey, babe, I washed the dishes. Oh my God. Are you flirting with me right now? Is this foreplay? I'm telling you, when you're grown, chores become foreplay. You want to seduce someone over 30? Clean something. Clean anything. You fold the laundry correctly? Instant attraction. Like pheromones. Nothing sexier than a well-folded fitted sheet. That's basically lingerie for responsible adults. You take the trash out without being asked. That's marriage level commitment. That's vows. That's in sickness and health. You cook and clean the kitchen. That's not romance. That's a national holiday. That's fireworks. That's the emotional Super Bowl. Because responsibilities to be out here blocking romance like a 6'5" defensive lineman with a full scholarship. You try to kiss your partner and life stiff arms you into the carpet. You ever try to be romantic but you're both exhausted? You start off sexy, but end up doing physical therapy. Hey, you trying to, you know, I would, but my left knee is locked. My back popped twice today, and the baby ain't even asleep yet. Also, I can't find my good bonnet. Romance after 30 becomes like trying to light a candle in a hurricane. You want it, you're trying, but everything around you is like, nope, not today. You ever finally get the moment alone, the house interrupts you? You close the bedroom door and suddenly appliances start acting haunted? B, was that the dishwasher finishing or your soul leaving your body? And grown folk don't do spontaneous romance anymore. No, we do scheduled intimacy. Next level Google Calendar love. You free Thursday after the dentist at 6? Nah, I got laundry. What about Friday after the kids' soccer game? I got a meal prep. Sunday at 2? Bet. You know you're grown when romance has a meeting invite with a reminder and a follow-up email. And don't let one of you reschedule. That's how wars start. Why'd you move our time to next Wednesday? Because we ran out of groceries. So you're choosing food over passion. Yes, we need bread. Even flirting changes when you're older. You're not whispering sexy things, you're whispering logistics. When we get home, I'm gonna, wait, hold up. Did you switch to laundry? Older couples be like, you wanna come upstairs? Depends. Are the kids up there? Yeah. All right, then never mind. And sometimes you try to be sexy, but the grown up part of your brain won't shut up. Hey, baby, you look good. Did you take the chicken out the freezer? Romance dies instantly if the chicken is still frozen. You can't be sexy while failing basic household responsibilities. Nothing kills a mood faster than hearing, I told you at 3 p.m. to take it out. Baby, I forgot. Then you forgot romance too. And look, grown romance has rules. After 25, no romance if the AC is broken, no romance if y'all both ate too heavy, no romance after 10 p.m. because that's the danger zone. If it starts at 10:01, you're waking up injured. When you're younger, romance is the sprint. When you're older, it's a joint approved, ergonomic, chiropractor endorsed marathon where someone's asking midway, wait, did we lock the front door? But that's love, exhausted, scheduled, responsible, sexy in a we survived another Tuesday kind of way. All right. It's time for the improv moment of the week. What's the pettiest thing you ended up mad about this week? You ever notice the pettiest fights always start with the dumbest question? Ain't nobody ever said, what's the meaning of life? And ended up arguing. No, it's always, did you move my charger? Did you finish the juice? Who touched the thermostat? Those are the relationship landmines. So I'll go first. This week I got mad because my partner ate the last slice of pizza. Was it my pizza? Technically, no. But emotionally, spiritually, biblically, absolutely yes. No warning, no note, just gone. Empty box, cold betrayal. That pizza's life did nothing to deserve that. And the worst part, I didn't even want the pizza until I saw it was gone. That's how petty works. You don't crave it, you crave the injustice. Another petty moment, she asked me to hand her the remote that was literally sitting next to her thigh. Like right there, inches touching her leg. She could have breathed on it, and that thing would have moved. Why? Why do I exist only to pass objects? I didn't know my role in the relationship was professional remote butler. Do I clock in? Do I get union benefits? What are the hours? And it's never something simple like, hey, babe, can you hand me the remote? No, it's always the soft, dramatic tone like, and you already know you're about to get recruited to pick up something that is physically in her hand. But let me go through some imaginary listener submissions because y'all are petty too. Submission one. My boyfriend chews too loud. See, that's real. That's love mixed with violence. That's I adore you, but if you crunch one more Dorito near my ear, I'm gonna become a Dateline documentary. When you're in love, regular chewing becomes a threat. You go away from all your cute chew. Why are you eating like a medieval horse? Submission two. She said she didn't want fries, then ate mine. Classic. That's relationship law number three. Everybody knows this one. You ask, you want fries? They say no. You believe them. And that's your mistake. Because the rule is if one partner orders fries, both partners order fries. That's just math. And they don't just take one fry. No, they take the best fry. The long, golden, crispy, perfect fry that had a destiny. They eat it like they did you a favor. Submission three. He breathed weird. Yeah, yeah, I'll do it. You ever be irritated with someone, you get mad at them for inhaling wrong? I don't like the way you exhale. I don't like the rhythm you chose. Why are you breathing like you got secrets? That's top tier petty right there. More petty submissions. She slammed the microwave door. That's not even petty. That's a sign of spiritual turbulence. He left one crumb on the counter. But yeah, that'll ruin a whole Saturday. You start thinking, is this how he was raised? She replied, K. That's not a text. That's a threat. He left all the lights on. That's when you start walking through the house flipping switches like you're shutting down a warehouse. Petty arguments keep relationships spicy. Too spicy sometimes. Ghost pepper spicy. That's the thing. It's never the big issues that shake a relationship. No, it's the tiniest, dumbest, microscopic stuff that turns you into a full blown attorney. Why was the sponge wet at 4 p.m.? Explain yourself. Every couple has at least three arguments where, if you have ever replayed them out loud, you sound like toddlers with mortgages. Petty arguments mean you care. You care enough to argue about the remote. You care enough to get mad about fries. You care enough to glare at someone for breathing like a confused owl. And if both of y'all are petty, well, that's soulmates. Toxic, spicy soulmates. You ever sit and think, as kids, all we needed was matching crayons? That's it. That was the entire relationship criteria. No spreadsheets, no couples therapy, no Google Calendar invites, just crayons. If they had the shining ones and didn't tell the teacher you ate glue, boom, true love. That was it. You didn't care about their credit score, their emotional baggage, or whether they like pineapple on their pizza. None of that mattered. You just want someone who could draw a solid rainbow without losing the purple. Now, it's a full time job. We need a resume for love. When you're an adult, you're basically swiping through a LinkedIn profile for humans. You need compatible temperaments because if one person is chaotic neutral and the other is lawful obsessive, good luck just watching a movie without a chart. Similar communication styles. Are we texting in paragraphs? Are we texting in shorts? Or are we passively aggressively rearranging the dishwasher? That counts as communication too. Shared financial discipline. You can't have one person budgeting in Excel and the other spending $50 on a banana slicer just because it was on sale. No, that's math from another planet. Matching dream goals. Do you want a beach house? Do you want a dog, a cat and a dog? Because if you disagree here, forget it. That's a deal breaker. And yes, a mutual understanding of the thermostat. One person wants Miami in July, the other person wants Winterfell in December. If you can't negotiate climate preferences, nothing else matters. Not your love, not your childhood trauma, not even your matching Netflix passwords. Growing up is ghetto. Love doesn't get easier. Responsibilities don't get lighter. You go from crayons and glue to spreadsheets and emotional temperature control. And yet, somehow, it's worth it. Because when you find someone who folds the laundry and laughs at your dumb jokes, you get who gets your weird panic about the thermostat and eats the last slice of pizza without starting a war. Suddenly, it all makes sense. Love goes from two 5-year-olds sharing crayons to two slightly broken adults trying to assemble IKEA furniture together. You might argue over a screw, you might cry over a missing Allen wrench. At the end of the day, you build something together, and that is peak romance. And the wildest part, we survive it. We survive adult love somehow. We just survive it with patience, sarcasm, and Amazon Prime. All right, y'all. That wraps up episode 3 of Laughing Through Life with Donald. Relationships are easy when you're older, which we now know is a lie straight from the pits of childhood fairy tales. But relationships are still beautiful, still hilarious, still chaotic, and still the thing that keeps life interesting. If you laugh, learn something, or if this episode made you check the thermostat in your house, make sure you tune into the next episode, share it, rate it, send it to your petty partner. I'll see y'all next time on Laughing Through Life with Donald. Stay laughing, stay living, stay adjusting that thermostat when they're not looking.